Hi guys and welcome here on this new episode of Dawn of Devblog. Today we are going to speak about our village mod Once Upon a Town, our architecture mod Dawn of Time Builder Edition, our armor mod Armor of the Ages, and a whole new mod for Wolf Armor I'm going to announce you, Armored Doggo. First, let's talk about our global progress on our Vanilla Enhanced mod Once Upon a Town. We made two big steps from the last episode of this series, the building spawning algorithm and the new GUI interface for the NPC. Our villages are now able to generate themselves in the plain village of MC or with a command. This is not the final look as we keep trying to improve the system, but at least you can get an overview about what we would like to reach. As I told you last time, the spawn of the buildings is intended to create neighborhood by using squared shape and stretch rods. Randomly, some gardens generate pacing up the buildings to let the village breathe a bit. Here is a close side-by-side comparison about our village and MC1s. As you can see, everything is tied together and you can clearly identify two types of rod, the main and the sub-rod. The algorithm is going to randomly define which kind of rod suits the best to create each time a unique village. If the building seems a bit different from what you're used to, it's because we decided to slightly improve the overall look of every building in the village without losing the vanilla style. I spent a little bit of time trying to find the perfect compromise between a fancier look without adding new blocks to the building block set. Well, it's quite a challenge, but so far I'm pretty happy with the results. Additionally, we added a ton of new buildings and jobs to the village, but this information are for now the next episode of Dawn of Devblog. The last progress we made in the mod is a rework of the NPC trading interface. It is now composed in two tabs, the blocks the NPC sells and the blocks the NPC buys. Purpose with this makeover is to make shopping quicker, easier and funnier by adding small tweaks to the visual interface and adding some buttons. We also introduced the Emerald Shard and the Emerald Block in the economy to complexify the trades and make some OP items harder to obtain, such as mending or diamond stuff. We expanded the shopping total display items from 7 to 35 trades by changing the rectangular shape to a squared one. The mod is intended to stay as much as possible to the vanilla, but if you're not satisfied with this direction, you will be able to modify 100% of the system through data pack and config file. This is why we took Once Upon a Town as a name, as it means to reflect the player journey once he played with the mod and custom made its own experience. Of course, all the features are not released for now, but we would like to give you the freedom to import your own custom vanilla or modded builds, create your own quests, job, change the citizen names, look, languages and more. As the second topic, let's talk about Dawn of Time Builder Edition that is now renamed in Ancient Architecture. Yeah, I know you were pretty attached to calling it Dawn of Time, isn't it? But times go by and this name is no longer the name of the mod, but the name of the team. Once, my grandpa said, "In order to become of men, you have to take tough decisions." And I'm sure he was pretty true about this. That's why we are going to take a never returning decision about our project, the renaming of our standard barrier mod. Ancient Architecture reflects more what this mod adds in Minecraft, cultural related buildings blocks inspired from ancient cultures of the world. In short time, it's going to create a huge mess in the project, but here I can assure you, we are not afraid of it. Yeah, not like we took 7 years to give you a first glimpse of a village. This change is also made because our team keeps growing and we may face soon a third mod release. That's never what we had planned returning in the days, we just wanted to create a village mod inspired by Millennials. That's why the shape of the project is now evolving and we need to accept that for a greater purpose, the project consistency. As long as the new names for our mods, we also modified the logo for the mod, now becoming the logo of the project. We removed the flat design from the logo for a more pixelated one, closer from our new vanilla friendly direction. All those modifications are meaningful for us and tend to create a new era for the Dawn of Time project with multiple mods. From the last devblog, previously Dawn of Time Builder Edition and now Ancient Architecture, got updated to the 1.20.1 version of Minecraft, achieving for the first time a Dawn of Time mod being up to date. Damn! Congrats! Yeah, congrats! Yeah, congrats! Clap, clap, clap! Yes! We also needed to switch our connected texture mod from CTM to Fusion, as CTM do not exist on 1.20.1. Additionally, Ancient Architecture received a new update 1 month ago with 35 new Persian blocks such as frescoes, columns, sandstone bricks and smooth gold, and even connected mosaics. Our goal was to keep the rich color of the culture without compromising with the vanilla look of Minecraft. And here our connected textures are such a game changer in the block set, allowing nearly infinite patterns with multi-connected blocks. Isn't it wonderful? As a third topic, let's talk about our armor mod, Armor of the Ages. Previously called Weapon and Armor, we decided to get rid of the weapon part as it would have needed extra work to legitimate the name. We wanted to stay simple as the roadmap is already filled with enough projects that are more important than adding weapons. As I told you last time, we removed the armor from Ancient Architecture to create a standalone mod. It is now fully playable in 1.16.5 with even unique crafting and repairing methods. A portage of the mod is planned in 1.20.1. The developer Hydrolien working on it already made some progress making the Centurion armor fully working. Do not hesitate to join our Discord to get a sneak peek of the footage before all of the mod when it gets released in its beta. As a final topic, let's talk about a new mod we would like to release in 1.20.5, Armored Doggo. This mod is meant to add new armors for your tamed wolf inspired by our armor mod, Armor of the Ages, but also cosmetic protection such as little hats and scarf, for example. The mod is still in WIP, but for now, as a concept, it could be the first render of an armor. Splendid. This mod is very important for us as we will try to experience multi-loader functionalities. We plan to release the mod on Forge, Fabric and NeoForge day one. This knowledge will be used ultimately to create all our other mods with this structure. We could imagine Ancient Architecture being updated on all the loaders at once. It still needs some time to be fully learned by our team, but once mastered, you can expect all the dot mod up to date on every version and mod loader you can think of. And that's all for today, guys. I hope that you liked the video as I'm trying to improve constantly the formats. Do not hesitate to give me a feedback on this new type of video construction, as I know trying to work on a script as I am a French baguette. Yeah, so my apologies in advance for this very terrible English accent. Oui, omelette du fromage. Yes, would you like some omelette du fromage? Baguette. La baguette. Je suis une baguette. Back in the days, I couldn't imagine the project like this. I couldn't imagine us going this far. You have to let us cook, because we are working very hard on a new mod. You can trust us. We are trying to keep our road stretch and always keeping the priority on mod creation and nothing else. I really would like to tell you that from the deepest part of my heart, the only thing I want, I wish, and I will work for is to create unbelievable and awesome mod. That's all. You will never regret your time waiting. It is worth every emerald you own, you know? Just like give me everything, you know? Like it's okay, alright? Do not hesitate to join our growing and active community on Discord, and if you want to support the mod and get sneak peeks, screenshots and footage before all, you can support us on our Patreon. Take care of you guys, thanks for your wait, see ya!